Hello people and welcome again to my tutorial for today. I hope you are very good. It's a rainy day over here and we thank God Almighty for the gift of a new day. It's been raining here since morning, but we have to keep our business going. I sincerely appreciate you guys for the time you've put into my videos. Thank you for subscribing, and if you are new to this channel, please hit the red icon to subscribe and also touch the notification bell. So for today's tutorial, we're going to be making a straight cut simple gown with a batwing sleeve, and I'll be using this lemon crepe fabric for it. I'll be making use of 2.5 yards of this fabric. It's actually a little bit stretchy. Okay, let's just get started. And lest I forget, please be nice to someone today. It pays to be nice. Okay, we are going to be cutting both the front and the back together at the same time. Alright, I'm going to be doing the down part first of all. I'm going to be folding into two and also into two again. And let me also quickly add that this dress is going to have a front pocket by the two sides. Okay, I fold into two and then into two again, making it into four, just the same way you cut your pencil skirt. Now this is not going to be all that pencil. I'll be making use of a zip allowance of 2 inches. As you can see that this is not supposed to take us much time. Okay, the length of the lower part is 29, and I'll be adding 1.5 inches for fold. So I'll be measuring 30.5 inches. Okay, let's just use 2 inches extra. So I added 2 inches extra. I hope you can see this chalk. Okay, now with this done, I'll just take my body measurement. My waist is 36, divided into 4 is 9. I'll just add 1.5 inches extra for allowance. I'm not going to be putting that. I just added 1.5 inches extra. Okay, now for my hip line, I'll use 9 inches, which is at this point. Then I'll take my hip measurement, which is 42 divided into 4 is going to give us 10.5. I'll also add 1.5 inches extra for allowance. Okay, so I will join my waist measurement to my hip measurement. And then I'll drag my hip measurement all the way down to the hemline. Like I said, it's not going to be a pencil dress. It's not too narrow at the lower part. So I'm proceeding to cut. Okay, so this is the lower part neatly cut out. I'm going to now spread it out again for the bodice. Okay, so for the bodice, I'm going to be cutting both the front and the back together. Okay, so I'll fold my fabric into 2 and then I'll fold again into 2, making it into 4. Okay, so my half length is 17. I'll just add 1 inch extra for allowance. So this is 18 inches. And then my shoulder is 16 divided into 2, 8. My armhole is 8. So my bust is 42 divided into 4 is 10.5. Which is here. I'm finding the midpoint. Is here. Okay, now my waist measurement is 36 divided into 4 is 9. For this upper part I'll be putting that, but for the lower part there will be no that. This is 9. So I'll just add 1 inch for that, and then 1.5 inches extra for allowance. That is 2.5 inches extra. Okay, this is my bust. I didn't add allowance. I now added 1.5 inches for my allowance. So I'm connecting my bust to my waist. For my neckline, this is 3 inches standard for shoulder slope, and I'll be taking 1 inch for my shoulder slope here. Okay, now for the depth of my neck, I'll be using 5.5 inches, which is here. And for the neckline, I'll go with 4 inches. So I'll just connect my 4 to my 5. Okay, so this now is my neckline. This is my armhole, my bust, my waist measurement. So I'll just cut this one out. Now with the front neckline cut out, I'm going to now cut the back neckline, and I'll be using 3 inches depth for it. Okay, my zip allowance is also 2 inches. Okay, so for the batwing sleeve, I'll be showing you guys, or we'll be talking about the 2 methods of achieving it. First is you determine the length of your sleeve. Okay, mine, I'll be using my half length as the length. Okay, so now I will make sure I have, for the first way to achieve this batwing sleeve, I'll make sure I have my half length, which is 17 here. I'll also make sure I have it this way. Okay, this is 17 also. All right, so now you simply draw a curve from this point to this point. Okay, this is 17 inches. I hope you understand it well. This is 17 inches, this is 17 inches, this is 17 inches. That is my half length. Okay, now having determined that, the only thing you need to do is to curve it out from this very point to this point. I hope it's very clear. You just draw a curved line, something like this. Now you also make this one into a straight line. So this is what we have, and this is half a circle. If we spread it out now, it becomes half a circle. Okay, you can now choose to cut it out. This is one batwing sleeve. I hope it's very clear. If you like, you can now cut it out. The other way to achieve this batwing sleeve is to fold as if you are doing your circle dress. Make sure the width of your circle is up to your half length. That is, if you want to join from shoulder to your half length, you make sure the width is the half length of your bodice. Okay, and also you make sure the length also is your half length, and then you cut it out. Let me show you what I mean. So assuming our half length is 13, you make sure you have 13 on this side. You also make sure you have 13 on this side, and all you need to do is from this point continue to measure 13. From this folded point you measure 13, 13, 13, and then Please ignore this one. This was for the other explanation. So this is it. Now if you cut it here, it will still give you half the circle, just exactly what the other one we talked about will give you. I hope it's very clear. So you start adding to your sleeve, to your shoulder from this point. I hope it's very clear. With this now, you've cut both sleeves. Well, but with the other one, you only cut one sleeve and you will need it to cut the second one. But with this one now, you have cut both sleeves at the same time. Okay. Okay, so this was our first batwing sleeve. And that is what I'll be using because I want to make use of this end later. So I'll just cut it. Okay, so this now is one sleeve. I will now use it to cut the second one. Okay, so now for the pocket. The pocket is going to be at the front, like I said. From the folded edge of the front skirt block, I'm taking away 5 inches, which is here. Now my waist is 36, which is 9. That's divided into 4, which is this point. So this is my waist, 36. This is 5 inches I took away from this folded edge. Okay. Now from my waistline, I'm going to go down by 7 inches. Okay. So this is my waist. This is 5 inches. This is 7 inches. So I will just draw a line from this 5 inches to my 7 inches. If you like, you can make it straight. If you like, you can make it a little bit curved. I will show you what I mean. So you see there are two lines here. One is straight, the other one is a little bit curved. Okay, either way it is fine. So I will now cut it out. I'll be using the straight line. I don't want a curved pocket. Okay. So here we go for the pocket. This was the original skirt that we have. Okay, and then I cut this one off. For our pocket, you have to determine the length you want. Me, I wouldn't want a very deep pocket. So I'll just take it maybe like 9 inches from the waist line. Okay, this is our pocket here. It is 9 inches from the waistline. Okay. All right. So I will cut this one out first of all. It's actually going to be 2 on each side. This is 1. I wouldn't want it encroaching so much. So I'll just make it small. Okay. So putting it at the front, you have something like this. So this is the way it is going to appear at the back side. This is the opening. Okay. I'm also still going to cut another one. This other one is now going to have this cut here. Okay. Okay, so now we have two pieces of pocket. Okay, now I'm going to open up just one of them. All right, so this is it. I'm also going to cut something similar to this for the other side of the pocket. Okay, so here are my sleeves. I used a bias to turn it. These are the two sleeves. Okay, this is my back panel. I've inserted my dart. I also knitted the neckline with my bias also. Okay, so this here is the lower part of our dress, the front side. And before we start joining, first of all, insert the pocket. Okay, now remember we cut the pocket this way. Okay, I will be taping this one with this shorter one that I cut at this point. Okay, but first I will have to make a stitch from this point. Sorry, I will have to make a stitch from this point all the way to this point. I'll first of all make this stitch. Okay, now as you can see, I have stitched it together. Okay, so this is now our pocket. Now the next thing to be done is, this is the front side, this is the right side, I mean this is the wrong side. That is to say, this is the side that will be hidden inside. Okay, now the next thing to be done is to place your pocket like so. You see, for the pocket, this is the wrong side and this here is the right side. Okay, so you place your pocket, the right side against the right side like so, and then you make a stitch first of all. I hope I'm well understood. Okay, so this is what we have. All right, so you also have to turn again this way and stitch it against the pocket side. Remember, this is the body of our dress, this here is the pocket. Now after this line, you have to turn again and top stitch against the pocket so that it will relax very well. Okay, so with that done, I had to hold it firm at this point and at this point also on both sides, and then this is what we have. So when you are done, you should have something like this. This here now is our pocket. I hope you can see it. Okay, so the next thing to do now is to join the front and the back bodies together at this shoulder line. Okay, so I'll just join them together here. When I'm done, I'll still use my bias to tape this armhole area. If you like, you can do the taping before the joining. Either way, it is still okay. All right. Okay, now I've joined them at the shoulder, as you can see. I also knitted the armhole area. Now before we join the lower part, we have to insert the sleeve first of all. Now I made a notch here. This is the center of our sleeve. Okay, so I will now attach my sleeve. It depends on you, how you want your own sleeve to be. So now I'll be leaving like 1.5 inches towards the neck area, not towards the other side, towards the neck area. I'll be leaving like 1.5 inches, and then I'll attach my sleeve. Okay, please, I need to explain something. In attaching the sleeve, you need to measure the distance from one pocket to the other one, so that you don't end up doing something that will not be good to look at. So you measure the distance from the beginning of this pocket at this point to this one, so that when you attach your sleeve, it will correspond with it and be good to look at. So basically, the measurement you get here is what you will use to attach your sleeve. Like when you are walking from this shoulder down, the measurement you got here, you have to mark it out on each side so that your sleeve will end up at that point, so that when you are attaching it, it will lap very well this way. I hope I'm understood. I'm going to attach my sleeve, making sure that this notch is at this joint area at the shoulder line, this way. So I will now attach my sleeve. Okay, so with the joining done, the next thing should be to move to the back panel and insert the zip. So I will take 7 or 8 inches. This is going to be for my zip. Then from the 7 or 8 inches, I'm going to make a stitch of about 10 inches long and then leave the rest as my slit. Okay, so with the zip inserted, the next thing should just be to join both front and back at the sides using the body measurement. And as usual, I don't think I need to explain that again or show it again. We already know how to do it. So I'm going to proceed to join the two sides together using my body measurement and then fold the hemline. Okay. Alright guys, so check out the sleeve. Finally we are done with our batwing dress and also the pocket. You can see how lovely it came out. Thank you guys for watching till the end. I love all of you for your support. And if you are new to my channel, please, before you leave, subscribe and also touch the notification bell. And most importantly, find someone close to you to be nice to, because it pays to show kindness to people. Till we get to meet again in my next class, don't forget to hold your head so very high. Thank you and bye.